It's the Tim Conway Comedy Hour. With guest star Mickey Rooney. And special guest star Dorothy LAMOUR. And now, here he is, Mr. Gimmick himself, Tim Conway.
Thank you. Thank you very much. You hear that applause? Is that wild? You know why they're applauding so much? Because they know that there's a wild excitement coming here this hour, that just the fervor, the anticipation of a great show coming up. I wish I could also feel that excitement. And the way the guys around... You want to hold the work, guys? Thank you. The way they feel the excitement around here for this show that's coming up. Well, tonight, got some good news for you. You know, as I told you, that Carol Burnett, Jim Neighbors, and Glenn Campbell all do their variety shows here, and now this big one is done here. And what used to be the big three is now the big four. So, I was out here in the parking lot the other day, and out here at CBS, and they have these signs where your name is, of course, you know, and it says Mr. Campbell. So I was on the way to get my car over at the Atlas U Park, and I saw Glenn in his car. So, you know, Carol has Jim Neighbors on her first show every year, so I thought maybe it'd be kind of exciting to have Glenn Campbell on my show. So I went up to his car and I said, Glenn, how'd you like to be on my show? Well, evidently his power windows aren't working because they were up and, well, he didn't put them down. But I could see his lips moving on the other side of the window. And I chased his car out here to Fairfax, and then I lost him. But I think, from what I could see him going inside, I think he's going to be on the show. So it'll be a big one for us, and it'll certainly help his show. But listen, enough about my friends here at the studio. I want to talk about some friends around the show tonight. Come on over here. You see this? It's an empty cloud in the old corral. And I'll tell you why. People are over here, that's why. And you know why they're over here? Because this guy right here and this little girl right here, the three of us are inseparable. You read those movie magazines, and all the time you see Tim Conway, Mickey Rooney, and Dorothy LAMOUR. Always together, the big three. I'll tell you, sometimes I go over to Mickey's house to pick him up, and then we go over to Dorothy's house to pick her up to go out and eat. And I'll get in the car, and Mickey will say, how are you? And I'll say, don't say anything. Don't say anything at all. Just wait till we pick up Dorothy so she won't miss anything. You know what I mean? So here we are, the big three together again. Three of my closest friends. I guess we must have made, 10 of those road shows together. And Mickey and I and those doggone Andy Hardy pictures are really great. So they're together with me again tonight. We're going to have a ball. Fortunately, Mickey can wear my clothes, so I gave him a tuxedo tonight. So how about a big hand for two of my real close friends, Dorothy LAMOUR and Mickey Rooney. Three buddies together again. Big one coming up, folks, a real big one. A lot of laughs and all that stuff. So let's get on with the show.
From Television City in Hollywood, the Tim Conway Comedy Hour. Tonight, also featuring Bobby Bloom, Bellenden Somerville, Bonnie Boland, Art Matrano, McLean Stevenson, Sally Struthers, and the Tom Hansen Dancers.
Here's Tim, along with Mickey Rooney, Dorothy LAMOUR, to show us why some people think our law courts are in trouble.
All rise. Case of the city versus Sarah Rendiff reconvening. The Honorable Judge Jonathan Fulworthy presiding. Be seated.
How are you now, Miss Rendiff?
Fine.
Enjoy your luncheon.
Oh, it was wonderful, and thank you for this berries.
My pleasure, my pleasure. Now, would the prosecuting attorney care to continue on where he left off?
Thank you, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor, before lunch, as you know, proceeding with the case of Miss Rendiff here. As you know, Miss Rendiff was seen leaving an all-night cocktail party. which time she drove south on La Cienega Boulevard and crashed into a parked car. That is the case to this point. However, in this case, she was also seen in the company of a short married judge, who, of course, remains anonymous at this time since he ran away from the scene of the accident.
Immaterial and irrelevant.
Well, Your Honor, I think we have proven here, beyond the shadow of doubt, that Miss Rindif is guilty. Thank you.
You, defense attorney, would you care to reply, rebuttal?
No, Your Honor. No.
You wouldn't?
No.
Would both counsel care to approach the bench, please? Huh?
Oh, sorry.
Please.
Yes, Your Honor.
Gentlemen. That is for not replying. That's for butting in, huh? Be ready tonight about 8 o'clock, will you, darling?
Yes.
Yes.
Do I take my car?
No, we'll take mine this time. I'll tell my wife that I'm on a business joint.
Your Honor, if I may, sir, this isn't regular courtroom procedure, Your Honor.
May we have another conference?
I think he wants to see us again.
No, I think he just wants to see you this time.
Just me?
Yeah.
Oh, does he look mad?
No.
He's okay this time.
All right.
Oh. Yes?
You're beginning to bug me.
You said he wasn't mad. Your Honor, if I might continue with the case.
You might.
Miss Rindif. May I call her Miss Rindif?
Yes, of course you may.
Thank you, Your Honor. Miss Rindif, is it true that you did leave an all-night cocktail party?
Yes.
And you did drive south at 4:30 on the morning on La Cienega Boulevard?
Yes.
You did. Is it true that at the time of the accident, a short married judge was biting your neck?
Your Honor, do I have to be intimidated like this? Do I have to sit here and let him ridicule me? Do I have to take this?
I don't think so, my darling. I don't think so, please. Please, I don't think so. You definitely do not.
Could I address the jury, perhaps?
Of course you may.
Thank you. Excuse me. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I am trying to prove that this beautiful, attractive, sweet, innocent lady smashed into a parked car with a short married judge.
That has nothing to do whatsoever with this case.
Your Honor, I am merely trying to prove that this woman is guilty.
Objection.
Well, you can't object. You're the judge.
I can too object.
You can't object.
Hey. Come here.
You can object.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, this is obviously an open and shut case. There's no reason for any deliberation. May I have your verdict at this time?
We find the defendant guilty.
Guilty. Will the jury please approach the bench?
Your Honor, after careful deliberation, we find the defendant not guilty.
Case dismissed.
Bye, Teddy Bear.
Goodbye, my darling.
See you tonight.
Yes, of course.
Next case, the State versus Miss Beverly Choo Choo Williams being charged with disorderly conduct in a bar with a short married judge.
Come in. Come in. Come in. Make this one fast, because Choo Choo has to be back to work at 3 o'clock, okay?
Give me one for good luck.
You needed that.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Bobby Bloom. You know, Bobby, you had one of the biggest hits in the country, I think, wasn't it? Montego Bay? Probably
Well,
was, wasn't it?
It's one
It's a
of them.
biggie. Let's face it. I mean, you don't have to be bashful with me. I mean, after all, I know a lot of things. And when you have a hit record like that, I do know that you make a lot of money. And you do, don't you?
Well,
Yeah, sure. I think we can speak freely. So, Bobby, would you like to buy a watch? Probably not, huh? Well, here he is to sing anyway. Anybody else want to buy a watch?
Vernon will meet me when the Boac lands, and keys to the MG will be in his hand. Just to the driving and I'm on my way. It's all on the right side in Montego Bay. Sing out, whoa, whoa, come sing me live, come sing me Montego Bay. Gillian will meet me like a brother would. I think I remember, but it's twice as good. Like how cool the rum is from his silver tray. I thirst to be thirsty in Montego Bay. Sing out, whoa, 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 whoa. Come sing me live, come sing me Montego Bay. I lay on the lilo till I'm lobster red. I still feel the motion here at home in bed. I tell you it's hard for me to stay away. You ain't been till you've been high, Montego Bay. Sing out, whoa, 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 whoa. Come sing me live, come sing me Montego Bay. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Dance in the street.
Attention! At ease, gentlemen. Be seated. Gentlemen, I have here the information for our top secret mission. Now, this information has been compiled by secret agents behind enemy lines. At this present time, this information is classified, will remain classified after you leave this room. I'll now divulge to you our secret target.
Bockhausen.
Secret target is Bockhausen. Bockhausen. In order, gentlemen, to obtain perfect weather conditions, we're going to have to leave at a secret time.
0700.
The secret time is 0700. Gentlemen, we are going to be hitting two targets, so we won't drop our full bomb load at the first target. We'll be dropping approximately
2,700 pounds.
Right. So we'll also be hitting two targets. Now, the second target that we'll be hitting will be
Vendelhoffen.
Hoffen.
Hoffen.
Hoffen? Hoffen. And since we won't have enough fuel to come back to home base, we're going to be landing at a secret base, which will be Bluebird.
Wrong.
Huh?
That's wrong, sir. It's Cyprus.
Well, see, now you're wrong. It says right here, you will land at Bluebird, which will be the code word for Cyprus. So we'll be landing there. Well, I have a good job after the war.
Yes, sir. You'll be a banker.
You think I'll make a lot of money, or?
About 30,000 after taxes.
Oh, thank you. Well, how about kids? Am I going to have any kids?
You'll have 4 kids, sir. 2 boys, 2 girls.
Oh, that's Bobby, sir. All right, cute.
7 pounds, 3 ounces at birth.
Oh. And your wife's doing fine.
Thank you. Well, thank you, gentlemen. Is anything else we should know?
Yes, sir. You should see the medic.
Well, I haven't got time to see the medic right now. I'll get this back in the top secret file.
Better see the medic now, sir.
A little bit later. Thank you, gentlemen.
First building on your right, sir, with the Red Cross. Can't miss it.
Thank you. This is a cue card. A lot of programs use them. We don't here, but a lot of programs use them. And a lot of guys can't even get along without them. Excuse me, I'm going to work.
Hope you have a nice evening. This is Harold Lassiter, KLEV News. See you tomorrow.
Okay, fellas, that's a wrap. Good night. Boy, Harold, I don't know how you do it. 4,732 consecutive shows without one flub. I mean, how do you do it?
Talent.
Oh, good night, Mr. Lassiter.
Good night, Bonnie.
No, Mr. Lassiter, it's Sally.
I'm sorry, Sally. Got a match?
Oh, sure thing, Mr. Lassiter. Anything for you, sir.
Thanks. Wow, it's getting late.
Yeah.
See you all tomorrow.
Achoo!
Thanks. Taxi! Hey, taxi!
I've been run over, but I feel fine. I'm all right. You can go home now. Come on.
Well, it's time for the Tom Hansen dancers. You know something? Everywhere I go, people are saying, boy, the dances are really great, and the dancing looks good on the show and everything, and the dancers are really cute, and the dancing is really going well on this show, and they're having a lot of fun with it. Well, I'm going to tell you something. If that kind of talk doesn't stop, there won't be any more dancing on this show. So you better enjoy it. didn't understand this one.
And now it's time for culture on this show.
Isn't it a little late for that?
So far in our shows, we haven't had what we call a serious moment. And this evening, I'd like to spend just a serious moment with you and read one of my favorite poems. It's called The Seasons. All through my life, for many reasons, each year I've loved the different seasons. And I recall each time they start, what joy they've brought into my heart. You want to hold the band, boys? Hello. Well, this is the time that CBS allots me every week called the personality spot, where you get a chance to like me. However, we've had quite a few of these already, and we feel that you like me pretty much now, so I'm going to kind of change the spot tonight. As you know, when you're in show business and you get a pretty good name in show business, you start what they call merchandising things, and you make a lot of money on the side, what with your record albums and things of that nature. So we decided to do some merchandising on this show. I'm now connected with the Tim Conway shoes. It's a little item that we got together, and we'll be selling these shoes on the show. Now, at this time, we don't have a lot of them. I mean, we're no suckers. We aren't going to go out and make a lot of these shoes and then get stuck with them. At this time, all we have is the model at 8.5D. So what we'd like you to do is send in and tell us how much you think these shoes are worth. What everything is fair. We'll kind of average it out, and then we'll get a price on them and make up some and then send them out to you. Now, if these go real well, we're thinking of going into flashlights and pens and things of that nature. And, as you know, I have a lot of Rango whistles left over, which we're going to try and unload on this show. So, send in for this item. It's the Tim Conway shoe. We'll see how they go. A lot of the members of the cast already have theirs, so it's working out real well. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule.
Stay tuned for the second portion of the Tim Conway Comedy Hour with Tim's guests, Dorothy LaMour and Mickey Rooney. And now, we return for the second portion of the Tim Comedy Conway Hour. I'm sorry.
Come on, Bessie. We better get out of here. The Knights are meeting again. I wonder what they talk about at these meetings, Ducky.
Gentlemen, meeting of the Knights of the Half Round Table come to order. You seated? Read the roll, please.
Yes, sir. Henry
Boys, want to raise your visors, please.
Sir Robert Moore.
Here, here, here,
Don't do that anymore.
Sir Felix Maynard.
Felix Maynard. Felix Maynard is not here again this week. He's been tardy 4 weeks in a row. Make a note of that.
Sir Philip Wadley. Here. All the nights are here except for Sir Felix, who is due in from out of town any moment.
I don't care where he's coming out of town from. I want to know it made... Are you quite comfortable? All right, gentlemen, I get to the report right away. It's a good report this month. Gentlemen, the wizard has come up with a brand new weapon. After that, I have a headache. The new weapon is called a magnet. You want to cancel next month's meeting? Ladies and gentlemen, once again, Bobby Bloom.
I've been uptight.
Sir, Mr. Bobby Bloom. You know, if I didn't know better, I'd say that was a little on the heavy side.
Well, you'd be right.
I'd be right. Or if I knew what I was saying, I'd say that. You know, Bobby, a little earlier in the season, we used to have a sketch about a carpool, and the car broke down, along with the writers. And a lot of people wrote in and said, listen, why don't you fix the car? And also fix the writers. And so we did. And so now here's a little sketch about the carpool again, along with my good friend Mickey Rooney riding right along with us. So, do you want to introduce the sketch?
Well, whatever he said, it's probably what I would have said, so, here it is.
A little on the heavy side.
Why are you slowing down? Is there something wrong?
There's nothing wrong. I can slow down if I want to slow down.
What are you stopping here for? We gonna get something to eat?
No, we're not getting anything to eat.
Why are you honking? Are you signaling someone? Hey, who's that little guy coming over here?
Is he riding with us?
Yeah, get out. Let him in, will you?
I'm not getting out. I'm not giving up my window seat.
Well, let him in then, will you?
We can crawl over.
Hi, Arnold. Right.
Good morning. Good morning.
That's the driver.
I didn't mean to.
Sit right up here, Arnold. There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, could I have your attention, please? Arnold here will be riding with us from now on.
How do you do?
Arnold here will be riding with us from now on.
That's right. Arnold will be riding with us from now on.
Is he married?
Boy, that's inconsiderate. Rude and inconsiderate.
Is that right?
I mean, the least you could do would be to tell us. I mean, we're paying passengers. We have a say-so in this car as to who rides.
Maybe he's related to the driver.
Arnold is not related to the driver. This carpool happens to be operating at a loss. Now, Arnold here puts me in the black. That is that.
Is he engaged?
Arnold, I don't know whether he's engaged.
That may be that. But I'm going to tell you something. There's no room. I mean, look how he's sitting.
Oh, what do you mean? He's a little guy. You hardly even know he's here. Well, after all, it's my car. I can have him ride with me if I want to. I just think that we ought to all get to learn to like him. I mean, after all, he is going to be riding with us, so let's all get to like him. Well, why doesn't somebody like him? Tell you what, Arnold. Why don't you tell that joke you told me the other day? You know that one, that real snappy one you told me? Go ahead, they'll love it.
There are these two guys, you see.
We heard it.
Okay, what's all the whispering going on back there? Come on, there'll be no whispering in my car. What is it?
Oh, nothing. It's just that we've decided we don't like him.
We tried, honest. I mean, we really tried. Yeah, but he just isn't likable.
Right. I don't like little guys anyway. See, I had a little guy who was a sergeant of mine in the army in Guam, and I don't like little guys.
Point is, there is no room for another passenger, period.
Yeah, it's nothing personal. It's just him. He sends out bad vibrations.
Right. Is that right? Mm-hmm. Look, Woolner, if I want to put 10 more people in this car, I'll put them in this car.
You know what? You know what you are? You are greedy. Look, why don't you buy a bus? Then you could take 40 little Arnolds to work.
Why don't you take the bus? Then that'd solve all our problems. Well, what's wrong with you?
Could you do me a favor? Pull over to the side because I'm feeling a little sick. See, I don't ride well in the center.
No, for crying out loud. All right, I'll pull over. Tell you why, please. Just change places with Warner here.
Yes.
Warner, change places.
I'm not giving up my window seat.
I don't.
Good for you, Wilner. You stick to your guns, we'll back you.
Yeah, we'll back you all the way, Wilner.
Could you please pull over?
I'm pulling over.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
I'm not moving.
Huh?
I am not
Will you let him out?
I'm sick.
Let the man out. Officer, will you tell him to let... Go, officer.
How many seats you got up front?
Huh? Just the 2.
How many passengers?
Just the 3. So the 2 and that.
Officer, do you know anybody with a carpool that might have an automatic shift?
Boy, the strangest things can happen in a Chinese restaurant.
Like what?
Yeah, like what?
That was just a great dinner. I love Chinese food.
Mm-hmm. Hey, why don't you have a fortune cookie?
Oh, thank you.
Well, what's wrong? It can't be that bad. It's, they just make these things up and put them in here. I don't think anybody has any personal interest. Could I see that a minute, please? Give me that. Pardon me. Could I read that? Well, that's really funny, isn't it? When you read this, react in a different way. That's really a scream. That's about the funniest thing I've seen in a long time, really. That's dumb. Stand on a table and dance on it like that. Did you read this? Then bark like a dog. That's funny. And you, huh? Sit down, will you? You got the whole uniform just for this thing? Is this some kind of a joke you thought up, huh? Don't you realize there's people out here who take up their valuable time with garbage like this? Tune in a show at this time of night? Some dumb guy comes up with some dumb thing like this? You shouldn't have any part of this, for crying out loud. You know better than that. React in a different way. How'd I do? I didn't have much practice. Ladies and gentlemen, the very talented Bruce Belland and David Somerville. They made me say that. You're getting closer every week.
Thank you.
Can you hear the band from here? You
Oh,
guess
sure.
You can, yeah.
Yes.
You folks are still writing in, saying that it doesn't really look like I care too much for Bruce and Dave. Obviously, that's wrong. I've followed these boys' career for some time now, and they're very good friends of mine, and that's why we can kid like this, can't we?
Yes?
Sure,
Yes.
Sure. Nod your head will be good. And what you really don't know is that both of them really are kind of, in a way, comics, too, because both of them have been in the entertainment field for some time. And I know whenever I have a party, these are the first two guys that I ask because, I don't know, it's whenever they start gathering around and singing or horsing around the old piano, these two guys are the first ones to really just start joking around and really come up with the funny stuff. And they're great ad-libbers. You can give them almost any subject at all, and bang, they just jump in with about, 5 or 10 minutes of material or something like that. Now, this is not rehearsed, really. So just off the cuff, let me show you. For instance, let's take a subject like horses.
Horses.
We've had some great parties.
Anderson, the lawyer's here to see you. Mr. Dalton, you got 5 minutes.
Thank you. Andy,
How
how are you, boy? Look fine.
Thank
Little
you.
white, but fine.
Thank you, sir. Any word?
About what, Andy?
What do you mean about what? If any word at all about my appeal?
Andy, it's like I told you, these things take time.
I know. Well, I just don't understand it at all, Mr. Dalton.
You don't understand what, Andy?
Well, I mean, after all, I get a simple $27 parking ticket, and the next thing I know, I'm in prison for 5 years. I just don't understand it.
Andy, we've gone over this time and again. That's not the point. The point is your car was not parked in a loading zone.
Well, it just seems to me that if you'd have paid that $27 ticket 5 years ago when they asked you to, I just think that I wouldn't be here. You know what I mean? I mean, it just seems like kind of a dumb thing to me.
Take the easy way, Andy. Huh? That's your suggestion? No, sir, not me, Andy. Andy, this is more than a parking violation we're fighting. This is a test case. It's one man against outdated laws. Boy, you're not in prison because you parked in a loading zone. You're in prison as a symbol of justice.
Oh, I don't know. This isn't fair to my wife, Margie Dell. I mean, she's been sitting at home for 5 years.
Don't you worry about Margie Dell. You know something, Andy? It's like I said to her just the other day. Honey, we're going to fight this thing to the end. And do you know what she said to me? She said, sweetheart, you're right. Don't you worry yourself about Margie Dell, boy. We're going to be just fine.
Yeah, well, that makes me feel a lot better, you know.
Well, it should, boy. It's like I was telling Margie Dell the other night at the drive-in movie. I said, honey, this could be a long, long battle for Andy. And do you know what she whispered in my ear?
What?
She said, Snuckums.
What?
She said, Snookums. I know.
Oh, that's what she said, huh?
Yeah.
That's great, boy.
You know, one night I was over at your place and going through your things, and I ran across these cufflinks, Andy. I said, baby, can I keep these? I want to wear them for Andy. You know, as a constant reminder of where he is and where we are. She said,
yeah. Well, what about the appeal, though? Any word on that at all?
We were talking about that at breakfast the other day, Margie Dell. And it's one of those, you know, who knows, it's iffy.
Yeah. That's great. You were supposed to see the judge on Tuesday, weren't you?
Couldn't see the judge on Tuesday, Andy. Margie Dell and I were at the beach house until Thursday night. We didn't get back till midnight. Traffic bumper to bumper all the way. Incidentally, it's a good thing you got air conditioning in that car of yours. Works like a charm. But there is one thing, Andy. The slats in the dock are a little loose. I mean, a guy's going to break his neck out there someday, and you're going to have yourself a lawsuit. In fact, the matter is, I tripped and fell in the water and got your watch a little wet there.
Oh, yeah, that's the watch Margie Dell gave me for my first anniversary.
Yeah, it sure is. We took all that lovey-dovey stuff off the back. Works like a charm. I love it.
Yeah, well, Yeah, you know, I think if we don't get through with this appeal, though, I could be in here another 2, 3, 5 years. Who knows?
Andy, it's only time. What's time? Now, wait a minute. That could be Margie Dell. That woman can't wait for anything.
Huh?
I'll be down in a minute, honey. What? Okay, Snickums, I'll tell him. Sweetheart.
Andy, Margie Dell says hi.
Yeah.
You know something? You ought to see her, Andy. She had her hair frosted and her nose fixed. Oh, she looks great. You know, it means a lot to a man when a woman takes care of herself.
Yeah, well, I know. Yeah, sure does.
Well, I gotta get going, Andy. We're on our way to Dayton. I want the folks to meet Margie Dell.
Uh-huh.
Guard!
Yeah. Well, you'll be working on that appeal, won't you?
Oh, day and night, Andy, day and night. That's all me and Margie Dell talk about. Now, you keep your chin up.
Yeah, right.
Get your bed fixed.
Uh-huh. Boy, you pay a little bit more, but it's sure worth it to get a good lawyer. Sure, thank you. Listen to that applause, huh? Thank you. Gee, that's what... I tell you, I still got a lot of show left in me. We're really rolling towards the end there. I tell you what, somebody run upstairs, see if we can get 5 more minutes. See if you can buy 5 more minutes. Go on, really, we're running into the news. Go ahead. Tell them. I'm telling you, we're still hot. Mickey, Dorothy, really, we're... Go ahead, run up, see what they say. What the heck, you know. We'll wait here. Okay, listen, I want to thank my 2 guests tonight, really, no kidding. Dorothy, you're absolutely sensational. A lot of good talk up front, really.
Thank you, Tim.
Thank you. And Guy, huh? Together again, huh? I want to ask you something. Now, it's kind of, I know it's a little offhand and all that. Who's the funniest guy you ever worked with? Huh? Who's the funniest guy you ever worked with? I'll check on that 5 minutes in a minute. Okay, we'll try and get it up there. Yeah, right, okay. Right, guys, see you a little later. Well, Dorothy and Mickey and I are off to one of those Hollywood places, one of those crazy, wild joints again, just to sit down and have some more laughs, probably continue on with the evening. Before I go, though, I want to thank the cover of Look, Time, and also Life magazine. And also my personal thanks to Chris Nixon and Don Ho. Thank you. And also, of course, to my cast, Clayne Stevenson, Bellenden Somerville, Art Matrano, and Bonnie Boland, Sally Struthers, and of course, the great Tom Hansen dancers. Thank you very much for joining us again this week, and before I go, I just want to say, gee, it's all fine and dandy, sugar candy, when I'm with you. Good night, everybody.
This is your announcer speaking.